cheer you'd like. Keep it going for Booker T, ladies and gentlemen. Looking fabulous as always. Sharp-dressed man. Look at this sharp-dressed man, ladies and gentlemen.
What up? What up, y'all? How y'all doing?
We've got your entrance music and
I
everything.
love it. Look, hit
Love
my
it.
music. Hit my
Hit
music.
my music. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of my personal favorites from professional wrestling. And it's not about me, though. It's all about you guys. What we want you to do is come up to one of the microphones, either on the left or the right, and get your questions for Booker T. But first of all, King Booker, how have you been enjoying Aberdeen?
It's been great. It's been great. It's been great hanging out with you guys. I want to thank everybody who actually came over and hollered at me at my table. I always say for me, these kind of events is an experience for me to actually come to you guys. I know you guys can't come to me. So for me coming here, hanging out with you guys in Aberdeen, I must say it's been an awesome time. The weather sucks, okay? But you guys have been awesome, I must say.
Yes. Round of applause for yourselves. Such nice people here in Scotland. And I have to tell you, Booker, the champ is here. We've got a question over to the right.
What's going on, kid?
Well, my question is, what is your, like, what's, like, sorry.
It's okay.
You got it.
What was your, like going,
My favorite wrestler to fight?
yes.
You know, my favorite wrestler, it's kind of funny, but you guys know I used to do a lot of, like, jumping around, you know, like big kicks and stuff like that. And my favorite was Rey Mysterio because I didn't have to jump too high. Spin kick looked real good. Side kick looked great. You know, scissor kick, I didn't have to, you know, do too much action. But Rey Mysterio, my favorite wrestler, not just to wrestle, but to watch as well. He was always one of my favorite. And for me to actually wrestle Rey for the heavyweight championship was one of my favorite matches of all times.
Yes. Good question. Thank you. We've got a question here on the left.
Hi, my name's Kevin. Do you have a favorite title run?
Yeah, my favorite title run was King Booker. King Booker, I think, was my favorite title run because I had my wife with me the whole time. And the thing is, I wouldn't have never been King Booker if it wasn't for my wife. People don't realize that whole thing, that whole King Booker character, that run, it was built around my wife. It wasn't even built around me. But I just had such a great time doing it, and as well as being on the road with my wife. I remember one time my wife, she's like my sidekick, my right hand, and we were, I can't remember, in Detroit or somewhere, and it was like midnight, and we had like a 6 o'clock flight, and we had a choice to go to the hotel or sleep in the car. And she said, "Baby, let's just sleep in the car." I go, "This my wife right there." You know, we just saved $100.
Queen Charmel, an absolute legend. Great question. If you're just joining us, Booker T is here taking your questions. We've got a microphone on the left and the right. But quick question for me. You've had such an illustrious career, and you're now kind of on the other side doing commentary and speaking. Are you enjoying that side of it?
You know, I'm content at this stage of my career. I love to like be an analyst and talk about it, watch the young guys come up. You know, having my school, that's so cool. Being able to promote the next wrestlers. You know, getting into the business. You know, one of my girls just debuted last month, AQA. In AEW Dynamite, which was like so awesome. You know, one of my kids named Chase, he just got signed by WWE, and he was only with me for like about a year or so. For me to see the young guys, you know, get to that next level, go around the world, and get a chance to do what I had a chance to do, which was so awesome, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty content.
Amazing.
Yeah.
With Reality of Wrestling based in Houston, Texas.
Yes.
You know, you're helping shape wrestling's next biggest stars. And I know we have a lot of aspiring young wrestlers that come to Comic Cons and panels. What advice would you give? You know, what do you look for? Is it that intangible star quality? Is it athleticism, or an amalgamation of everything?
You know, it's more about heart. You know, you really can't judge a book by its cover. I had one kid that came to my school, and he wanted to join when he was like 17 years old, and he couldn't even do one roll, like a little kid, left roll, right roll. And I told him, I said, come back when you're 18. Go train a little bit. And he came back when he was 18, and he still couldn't do it. And I said, man, why do you want to do this? He said, I've been wanting to do this my whole life. So I gave him a chance. I let him join the school, and for about 6 months, all he did was take notes. And one day, I still didn't have any confidence in this kid as far as being a wrestler. And one day we was having a show, and one of the guys didn't show up. And I say, all right, guy, I'm going to put you in. I put him in, and he had a pretty good match. And I go, wow, all right. Next show I put him in, and he did even better. But he still couldn't do those roles. So, but next thing you know, he became reality wrestling champion. And he was champion for a year. And I realized, man, his mind, it made up for, his ability. So sometimes you just got to give a guy a chance and see how far they go. And, sometimes, you end up with a star.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. We've got a question here on the left. Hi, sir.
Hi. You've had so many great matches over the years.
Wait a minute. I know what he's going to say. But the best match I ever had was with Stone Cold Steve Austin at a grocery store. Yeah. Is that right? Am I right?
No, it was.
No, okay. I was just
If you could have one dream match against someone who you never got to wrestle, past or present, different time frames, who would it be against?
You know what? I go past and present. How about that? In the past, the only person that I didn't get a chance to mix it up with was one of the greatest, they say, of all time. That's Mr. WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels. I never got a chance to wrestle Shawn one-on-one. And today's wrestler, I think I would love to wrestle Roman Reigns. Just because, man, he's so diverse. It's in his blood. It's in his DNA as far as wrestling goes. So Roman would definitely be a guy I would love to work with. Yeah.
Would love to see that. We've got a question on the right.
How did it feel like to be inducted in the Hall of Fame with your brother?
Boom, that's the one right there. Oh, man, great question. How did it feel to be inducted into the Hall of Fame with my brother? I got a chance to go in 2013 by myself, and it was a good moment. But to go in with my brother in 2019, that moment I think was even more special because I always say if it wasn't for my brother, we wouldn't be having this conversation. My brother is the one that wanted to be a professional wrestler, and I always wanted to be like my brother. I always followed him around everywhere that he would go, and I always say that I've been living my brother's dream for the last 30 years, and to actually, have a chance to do that with my brother, to finish it the way I started it, that was an awesome moment. Really, really special.
Great question, buddy. Thank you. We've got a question to the left.
Hiya, Book. I'm just wondering if you have a favourite moment from your career, either wrestling or commentary, because I know a lot of people probably say, like you said, the supermarket fight with Stone Cold. But one of my personal favourites is from TNA when you were sat next to your big homie, Kevin Nash, and you were Black Snow. So I was just wondering what your favourite moment from your career is.
That's obscure and awesome.
Oh, man. It's crazy. I've had so many moments, like the Black Snow moment. I don't think my wrestling career would be summed up from my in-ring wrestling. I think it'll be summed up from the entertainment that I tried to give you guys over my years. A lot of those matches, I don't even remember them until someone like you bring them up, and then you'll say, you remember that match? And I go, oh, yeah, I remember that. And I say that for one reason, is because when I wrestled, when I did it for the memories for you guys to have, not for me. I did it for the memories for one day we would have a conversation and you say, hey, Book, you remember such and such? And I go, oh, yeah, I remember that. But you're the one I really tried to give that to and let have those moments. That's what I talk to my students. I say, when you have a crowd that you're performing in front of, don't wrestle for yourself. Do it for them. You know, try to make a tear come out somebody's eye to where they really feel it inside, to where they'll remember that moment for the rest of their lives. And Stone Cold Steve Austin in the Booker T in the grocery store. Price check on a jackass. You remember that for the rest of your life. So I appreciate that. Yeah.
Cheers, Booker.
Thank you. You've given us so many moments, including the grocery store. Love that throwback. We've got a question over here to the right.
Who's your favorite tag partner?
Favorite tag team partner? Oh man, outside of my brother, okay, Gold Dust. Me and Gold Dust, Dustin Rose, we had such a fun time as Book Dust back in the day. We used to, you know, come to work, and I remember one day we was in the locker room, and no one else was in the locker room with us, just him and I. And Goldie, he was just laughing, and I'm like, man, what are you laughing at? He goes, man, can you believe they pay us to do this? And I go, man, you're right, man. So that's what it was about when Goldie and I was together, was just having some fun. No one ever thought that odd couple would actually make it, but I do remember one thing. When Goldust and I broke up, I remember looking in the audience, and I remember seeing a real tear come out of a person's eye. And I go, wow, that we really did our jobs. So special time with Goldie.
Love. We've got a question over here on the left.
Hi, Booker. I've got a question for you that you've asked a lot of other people, so I'm going to ask you it. Can you dig it, sucker?
I'm digging it the most, baby, in Aberdeen. Gotta get a little bass in your voice, though, next time.
Yeah.
Can you dig it? You gotta dig deep.
We've got a question from Iron Man on your right.
Iron Man.
Have you ever been real injured in the ring?
Yeah, I've been injured a couple of times, really, really bad. I had a neck injury where I thought my career was going to be over. I was out for like 3 months, and I had a back injury where I actually had to lie in bed for a month straight, and I thought my career was going to be over with, and somehow I came back from it. And it's real as it possibly could be when you're out in the ring. We're out there entertaining, but I'm sure you guys saw it just a couple of days ago. Big E fell on his head and broke his neck. Prayers go out to Big E. It's something that we do, and it's a price that we pay. It's something that comes with the job.
Question on the left.
Hey, Booker. Have you got any funny backstage stories about maybe The Undertaker or Vince?
None that I could tell. You know, other than The Undertaker always been the guy. Undertaker always been, you know, like we used to do this thing called, Wrestler's Court. Undertaker. Those were the good old days. We can't do that kind of stuff anymore. You know what I mean? Get canceled. But Undertaker was always the judge, and he's always been a fair judge. And it always was a lot of drinking after. Let's just say that.
Thank you.
And the rest is history. We've got a question on the right.
Hello. You've seen your career from both sides, from being in the ring and being on the presenting side. Which do you find was the most difficult, and why?
You know, honestly, both sides are as equally difficult, because if you're not preparing, you're going to fail. Preparation is the only luck you're ever going to have in life. So for me, from a in-ring perspective, I was so scared every night. My palms were sweating. Before I would go out of the curtain, I would find a little corner, and I would say a prayer every night. God, please just get me through the night. Please just get me through. And the same thing with being an analyst, commentating. I'm studying, I'm writing, I'm trying to make sure I know everything about this guy. What moves, what everything. Just because if you don't do that and think you can just wing it like a wrestling match, you're going to go out there, you're going to find yourself in a position wondering, where am I? So for me, preparation is the only luck you're ever going to have, and that's just about in everything that you do. Seriously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good advice. Question to the left. Hi there.
Aye, it was just one night after Raw went off the air with Undertaker. How close were we to getting the Takerooney?
We wasn't close at all. Okay, but that's what I'm talking about right now. You know, that was a night, you know, where the cameras pretty much shut off for television, but we still have our fans in the arena, and we're still going to entertain you guys to the end. And that night was just about getting the Undertaker to do the spinneroonie. Now, the way it happened was the referee had an earpiece in his ear, and he says, "Booker, they want you to get the Undertaker to do the spinneroonie." And I go, "I can't do that." But they go, "You got to do it." So I tell the Undertaker to do the spinneroonie. If you guys go back and watch that footage, the Undertaker looks at me and he goes, "Booker, I'm going to kill you." Literally, that's what he says on television. It's on camera. And I go, "It's not me," okay? But everybody that night came out and did the spinneroonie. 40 to 45 minutes after we've gone off the air, we're still in the ring trying to get the Undertaker to do the spinneroonie. And that's what it was about. Those memories. That night, that arena, man, they left that place, man, feeling like, wow, man, we just got to see something the world didn't get a chance to see. And how awesome was it? But we still, to this day, have not seen that Takerooney. Maybe at the WrestleMania Hall of Fame speech, we'll see one.
Stay tuned. We got a question on the right.
What was your easiest opponent since you were wrestling?
Disco Inferno. You know, now the Disco Inferno was my easiest opponent. The reason I say that is because I had wrestled that night in WCW, and I was getting ready to leave the building. I put my clothes on, and somebody had came to me and said, "Book, you're going to be wrestling Disco Inferno for the television championship, and you're going to be winning." I go, "What are you talking about?" They go, "Rick Martel forgot his gear. You're winning tonight." And I go, "Okay." So I go out and I wrestle Disco Inferno, and I win the television championship. Now, mind you, I was supposed to actually wrestle Rick Martel, and he was supposed to win it, and the rest was supposed to be history. But I said, "Damn it, you're giving me this title? It's gonna be hell getting it off of me." And that's what created Booker T, was that night, winning that championship from Disco Inferno. 6 times later, boom, amazing.
Thanks to Rick Martel.
Boom, thanks to Rick Martel for getting his boots. Unbelievable, seriously, man.
Question on the left.
Right, this is a two-part question, Booker.
Go for it.
I'm going to ask you for the results of the 2 matches that are happening at WrestleMania.
Roman.
No. Kevin Owens, Stone Cold Steve Austin on the Kevin Owens show. Who's going to win that one?
Well, you know what? I gotta go with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Because Kevin Owens bad-mouthed Texas.
Stone Cold Steve Austin are gonna win that. Got to go with the old school.
Okay.
Old school's the best school.
Okay.
Right? The only school.
Okay. The Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar match.
I just said it. Roman. Yeah. Roman's gonna do it. And the reason I say that is Roman he's a generational talent. He's got it in his blood. It's in his DNA. If anybody can combat Brock Lesnar, it's gonna be someone like a Roman Reigns. Trust me on that. I'm always right.
What about Brock Lesnar?
Hey, Brock Lesnar's great, but there's a saying: the Edsel was a good car in its day.
Oh, love it.
Thanks, Booker.
Thank you so much. Got another question.
Oh, my brother used to say that all the time. I used to love that line.
Good to see someone from Texas.
I hope Brock Lesnar don't see that anywhere.
This is just amongst friends here. Don't worry, Buck. Question here on the left.
Good to see someone from Texas. What was it like working with Bad Bunny?
Oh, man. You know what? Working with Bad Bunny was really, really cool. Because what's crazy about this life, you know, I just turned 57 on March 1st. I know I don't look it, okay? That's another story. But I always say in life, you know, you're never going to be at that top level, okay? You always going to have some young guy moving up to take that position. In life, it's just about staying relevant. And sometimes it takes more than you to stay relevant. A young kid like Bad Bunny, all the way across the water, can't even speak English, but make a connection with Booker T because I made him feel a certain way to where he want to write a song about Booker T one day, which is really, really awesome. So for me, I say I'm humble. I'm humble to the utmost for someone like that, still keeping someone like me relevant and then putting me in a whole different genre. So, man, big ups to Bad Bunny. Yeah.
Thank you, sucker.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hello, Harry. You've got a question.
What's your toughest opponent?
My toughest opponent probably would be the Big Show. Well, actually, probably be the Big Show and John Cena in one night. The Champion of Champions match, where I walked away the victor, and still, the greatest champion of them all, as well as king and ruler of the SmackDown world. Yeah, that would be it.
So many great versions of Booker T, so many eras of greatness. You are a star and a legend. WWE Hall of Famer Booker T, everybody.
Boom.
Thank you so much for being here.
I appreciate you guys.
Love to Queen Charmel. Keep it going for Booker T. Thank you so much. You're such a legend. So much fun. Thank you. Aberdeen, keep it going for Booker T. He will be signing autographs and doing photo ops and selfies right here at Comic-Con Aberdeen, presented by Monopoly Events. And in just a